Oh, sup, Bluntcast? Bluntcast just raided. I think he was playing Flight Sim, wasn't he? I saw him in all his I saw him in his pilot outfit.
There we go. Raid.
I watched him pitch a 747 into a hedge. That was very exciting.
Into a hedge?
I saw him crash into several mountains.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a part where he was doing an engineless glider, and he went, "Oh, we'll just ride this updraft," and then he flew straight into a wall.
I've never been into those
Very
sorts of games.
entertaining.
I think those types of games, from what I've seen, people either don't play them or they play them for about 5,000 hours.
Well, yeah, it's like it's Microsoft Flight Sim. It's like you know what you're getting.
Isn't the new one like really hard to run? Isn't it like?
He said it was
gig at least. You have to download, and then I think there's a bunch of additional downloads if you want extra bits and pieces, like different regions to get more detail.
No, but I mean, like our 1070 graphics cards run it at like 15 FPS.
Oh yeah, probably not. Probably.
It's amazing how the simulator games are always like very like hit or very miss.
It's not like, for me, it's not hit or miss. It's like you take a game that is something simulator, and it's either the most accurate portrayal of that thing you've ever seen, or it's literally a massive meme, and it just makes no sense.
Like, it's either you get Microsoft Flight Sim, very accurate, or Goat Sim.
I think that's probably the reason, right? It's like the fact that there are simulator games that make no sense. It's just a parody of the fact that simulator games are so
Are
serious.
They all made by the same company?
No.
Yes, all the simulators are all made by one.
Because they've all got the same logo, don't
the
they?
Sim company, actually. They have like a monopoly on it. No, there's a whole thing. You can't if you try and make your own. You know, it's like they come for you. They'll take down your project.
Yeah, the people that made Farming Sim, the most accurate portrayal of farming ever, also made Surgeon Simulator, the game where you control a hand and rip out someone's heart with a pair of scissors and drop it out the back of a fan.
They went straight from like German sidewalk sweeping simulator to Goat Simulator. That was literally
They made a couple of serious games and they were like, "Fuck this! This is so boring. Let's make something goofy." What are you about to say, Will? You had a good day?
Yeah, no, we've had a pretty good day. We're doing our revenge tour of Grounded.
Nice.
In our actual garden, where I'm going out and chopping down a bunch of trees and bushes back and stuff for winter. You know.
I thought you were going to say,
and every time I just imagine that I'm like, fuck you, spiders. How about now?
We're doing the revenge tour of Grounded in our back garden. I have set it all on fire.
Yeah.
It is now one concrete slab.
It's all just burnt to the ground. It's all just ash.
No, I've been good. I've been watching Counter-Strike.
I saw you posted that. Like, it was semi-finals when you posted the other day. Is it like not finished yet?
It's the final. It's the final right now. It's 1-0 to Outsiders, who are a Russian team that can't go home. It's very exciting.
Oh, nice.
That got sad very quickly. Maybe
gonna be some shit if they win. I haven't watched Counter-Strike in so long. I assume, like, without offending the entire esports scene, I assume it's just exactly the same, right? Like, there's no new meta or anything.
Yeah. No, pretty much.
Is it the one map?
It's like
there's a bunch of maps.
Yeah.
No, there's only one map in Counter-Strike.
No, they just did. I can't remember what they did first. No, Dust doesn't get played as much these days. It's all about Mirage and
Cobblestone
the other one.
Rotation.
No, I don't think so. No, Cobblestone was a long time ago.
That's the like ye old medieval castle, right?
Cobblestone's the castle one. Yeah.
All these terrorists going like, okay, this is a really good place to take hostage a medieval castle. It's been proven to work in the past. It will be a great place to hold.
I don't believe
Look how many buttresses we have. How can they possibly attack us?
I don't believe you, because every time on any shooter game that people add a new map, people are instantly, I hate it. Like, before even playing it, they're like, I hate it. It's different. Bring back the old maps. The old maps are the best.
No, but it's not. They're not bringing in new maps. They have like 10 maps total. Probably might be less than that.
So people got
and they
sick
just
of
rotate
Dust
through
then. People are like,
Well-
we've played this enough now.
I don't think people get sick of them. It's just they go roll in and out of favor, sort of thing. Like, I
we
can't
we
really
went through a
talk about them.
phase where like you would play and you would get Dust 2, Inferno, Mirage.
And that was it.
I mean,
And then
it's
once
still-
every 10 games, you would get Overpass.
yeah, and you'd be like,
it's
"Ah."
still. There's, I think, is Aztec? It's an old one, but a new one
Ancient?
that they've brought back and remade it,
They've remade Aztec. Cool.
which is the one in the jungle with all the like Mayan ruins,
Mayan pyramids and weird shit like
I
that.
think it's called Ancient.
yeah.
But yeah.
What's
Is it ancient now?
I can't remember.
Counter-Strike's the weird game where they'll add new maps, but the community won't hate them. They just won't play them.
Yeah.
Cash. I mean,
There was,
That's
Train. Nuke.
there was one map I played the last time I jumped in was like, I think it was like a car factory or like a car showroom or something.
Oh, that's when they do their seasons and they try and bring in community made maps.
Yeah, and it just, like I said, just no one plays them.
And yeah, people. Yeah, I think it's like a clever idea, right? Because you force people to play it through like a battle pass and stuff. But then it's
Yeah.
it's very Counter-Strike. Everyone's very stuck in their
I mean,
ways, aren't they?
that's every. I remember for Siege, every season they would either bring a new map in or rework an old map, and that map would get banned instantly every single time because people are like, no, it's terrible, but it's because they just haven't played it. And then like 2 to 3 seasons later, it would be like, oh yeah, that map's fine because like they have to ban the new maps. So it's just like they eventually are forced to try it, and they're like, oh,
This
it's
is-
not bad. Same
this
with
is
like,
probably- Go on.
I was gonna say same with Valorant though as well. I think.
Well, Siege, I always had the problem that whenever they did a map remake, they just made it the same as all the other maps. Does that make sense?
Siege is notorious for going back and changing every single map, right?
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
Just like all these maps we made, they're actually all terrible. So we're just
But,
gonna
but
change
as
them all.
like a casual Siege player, I always felt like the maps like House and Plane were the really fun ones, where it's like something unique. But then whenever they go and remake a map, they're like lots of square box rooms and
It's
good mixes of line of sights, and it kind of makes all the maps feel the same. I don't know.
House was always the most interesting in Siege because it was like, here's a map. It is absolutely tiny, and basically everything internally is destructible.
Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, no, we hate it, change it. And I'm on the outside like, isn't this actually really cool?
yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, Valorant is another one where I'm not sure what changes it's had, but Valorant maps I found quite boring. I don't know. It was just every single map was just aesthetically boring. It was just literal crates and boxes.
The comparison was like every map was like cash, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
the guy who made Cash went to work on Valorant maps.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, that was the meme.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
it was like you go round a corner and it's like 50-50s. And then
Yeah.
you go through another
Yeah,
corner
yeah,
a hallway
yeah.
at 50-50s.
Valorant is. I read something the other day. Valorant is really popular in like Asian territories, which is quite unpopular, quite uncommon for these types of games. They normally just don't do well over there. But it was Valorant and Apex are really popular in those territories, which is that's really cool. It's really cool to see like those games reaching markets they don't normally reach.
yeah.
But yeah, we played Valorant like I want to say like 3 months ago, maybe a bit more.
I bet it was like last year at this point,
A decade ago.
yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I can't. I don't know if I can do this anymore. That's the game that made me feel really out of season with those games.
Yeah, but I think it's like I think most shooters you can kind of jump from one to the other and your skills kind of translate, right? It's like they're all a bit different. But I feel like stuff like Counter-Strike and Valorant are you get worse at them the more you play. It's like the inverse, you get way worse at them the more you play other shooters, and it's like going back to them is so hard because it feels so weird to play something like just having no aim down sights in a shooter is so weird these days.
I just thought when we went back to Valorant, like I've played so much of this game in the past. Surely I must remember some of it, and none of it. Just all of it gone. All that time wasted.
Yeah, we did because we did play quite a lot in like beta, didn't we?
Played loads. As soon as the beta dropped, we were like, "Oh shit!" We were all over it. At least
this
I
is
was.
the new hotness.
And then I think I got quite far in. I got really into it. I did that battle pass and got completely burned.
Yeah,
but yeah, we went back to it. Just didn't retain any of that skill apparently.
I'd like to try one again, but I'd probably try Counter-Strike at this point rather than Valorant.
Well, you're about to do Warzone, which isn't the same, obviously, but that's like another fast-ish shooter.
You feel like Warzone's going to be a sticking game?
No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think it will, but I think it will be another good.
It'll scratch the itch for
it'll scratch that itch.
Yeah.
It'll be like the new hotness for like 4 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've booked a couple of days. Like I'm gonna play Warzone and specifically the Tarkov style mode this week. But I was like, maybe am I gonna still be into this by the end of 2 whole streams? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably be like you'll play for a bit and then there'll be one match that'll do something, and you'll be like, okay, I'm done. That's it.
Good. I'm out. Okay, I'm glad we tried this.
Yeah, we all gave it a good go.
It's that Seinfeld where he's just like, okay, and he just leaves. It's gonna be me.
All right, we'll roll straight into the intro from here. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Game FourCast, the weekly gaming podcast where we get together and chat about what we've been playing and the news for the week. My name is Josh, aka BottlerWorks, and I'm here with Olivemeister Will.
Hello, my name is Olivemeister and/or Will.
And Quikwix Steve.
Hi, my name is Steve, and this is the last you'll hear of me because I'll be in a Pokemon coma very soon.
And Sammeh.
Hello. I've played a lot of World of Warcraft again.
Oh my god.
I'm shocked.
Okay, so we were talking about this earlier, right? None of you have played anything new.
I've watched 2 movies this week. I can't speak about because they're popular and it's spoilers.
Well,
I've played a bunch of games, but just nothing. I've talked about them previously in the podcast. So
okay, well, we can throw shit at the wall, right, and just see what sticks. Without spoilers, Sam, I'm gonna ask you what you've seen. So what have you seen at the cinema? What popular movies have you watched?
I went and saw Black Adam on Wednesday, and I saw Wakanda Forever. Literally, started watching it in the cinema about 4 hours ago. 3 hours ago.
Yeah, and you were telling me this earlier. This is the hottest of takes. You think Black Adam?
I preferred Black Adam as a film.
Do you think like is DC on the up and up? Like their movies, do you think? Because they got what's his face, James Gunn, right?
James Gunn's head of
whoever
DC
did,
now. Yeah,
I don't know the ins and outs on who makes films and directors and stuff, right?
But
what I will say is this film was well done.
Yeah,
they realized that we're making a film about a dude. But you can't just have one guy and then just have, even if it's The Rock, you know?
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson can't carry a film
as much as he wants to.
Without
he probably could carry a whole film.
He's really strong.
He's just carry the cast.
He'll down like 4 cans of Zoa and then just carry the entire movie on his back.
But yeah, the like supporting cast for Black Adam was fantastic. Like Pierce Brosnan is that man is incredible.
That man's a legend.
Easily the best thing about the film.
Really?
Oh yeah, his character was amazing. He played it really well.
So he's Dr. Fate, right?
Yeah.
I know that purely off of I think playing Injustice 2. I know who Dr. Fate is from that because he does like cool.
Oh, you're right. He is in Injustice 2. Isn't he?
There's a picture from here. He does like cool hand weaves and shit like that. And then as soon as I saw like Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate, I was like, that's that guy from that fighting game I played that one time.
Yeah. So I mean, the characters in it was really cool. They made Actually, you always have this thing of like, you have superheroes, you
Yeah.
have abilities, but like some abilities are better than other abilities, And they managed to make having a character or two with very basic superhero abilities still feel really cool.
Yeah.
So I think they just did a really good job in Black Adam. And Wakanda Forever,
Yeah.
as I said, like it was, as far as the tribute to Chadwick Boseman goes,
Yeah.
fantastic film. Like, did it justice, played it well. But the film, it was still good. I still give it between a 7 and an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, I recommend people watch it, but it's now starting to show that like Marvel movies are being carried on the back of old Marvel movies.
Yeah.
As a standalone film, they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, people are still talking about, like the Avengers Endgame and that lot. Because even though there's been tons of movies out since and TV shows, that does still feel like the most substantial and the best thing they've done since, right? There's been nothing.
I mean, Spider-Man was great.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's been fantastic.
That's true.
And I did like Doctor Strange, but I know that some people didn't like it, some people did.
Yeah.
I have a question about the Avengers movie, because we had like the Avengers movie seemed to be like they're all getting their separate movies, but then the Avengers movie was where they all came together, and then we had that like in 3 chunks, and then Endgame wrapped them all together into one big, it's like all the movies tied together. We're on phase 2 now. Are we getting a second Avengers, like a new Avengers movie?
My guy, we're on like phase 4.
We're on phase 4.
Oh, okay. Well, are we getting like a new Avengers movie which is going to tie all these together? Is that like part of like, it was part of Doctor Strange's, or
they make like origin stories and individual character stories in films, and then they will have something that ties them all together.
Yeah, you've got.
But like, is it? I'm saying though, is it like, are they doing like a big like Avengers movie, like another Avengers?
They are. Yeah, it's the Avengers. I'll Google it in 1 second, but I'm going to try and remember it first. I think it's Avengers Secret Wars or Secret. Hang on.
I think that's what I'm waiting for. Like, we've had enough of like, the individual stories. I'm like, give me a movie to tie it all together, please.
You need the individual stories to have that.
Yeah. Okay.
We've had too many individual stories.
Yeah. So you've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. That's going to set up the big bad of like the next Avengers stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvels, Captain America, blah, 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 Thunderbolts. And then Blade is in some weird purgatory right now. It's like lost its producer or something. I can't quite remember, but that's struggling.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading that.
Yeah, new Deadpool, new Fantastic Four. Then you have, so Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. Because Kang is...
So we're still far away from that then.
Really,
that's
really,
2025.
February 14th, right? And that's Fantastic Four. May 2nd, 2025, and that will get pushed back. These things always slip. And then you've got Avengers Secret Wars, and then that's it right now. I just feel like it's like, I feel the Avengers and all those movies did so well is because they had so much setup, and it kind of like crept up on people, right? Yeah. It was like, oh shit, these Marvel movies are actually kind of really good. Oh shit, they're all together, and then all this stuff started happening. Whereas where we're at now, it still needs the same level of build up, but people are already expecting stuff. There's already like expectations and hype.
Yes.
It's like you can't pull the same trick twice.
You cannot. And I think that's the best way to put it.
They did the big team up, and now it's like every time you watch one of these, you're like, okay, but what's this? Where's this going?
I think that's the best way.
I can stomach those like one-off origin story Marvel films when it's in service of like, oh, here's a new character, but it's like the last couple of movies we watched, like the last Thor, and I thought Doctor Strange as well, was just sort of like, it felt like an origin story movie again, but not in service of anything bigger.
I think the way you put it is really accurate, which is just they're trying to pull the same trick again. And it's just like, I think at first I was kind of like ready for it. I was excited for it. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go around again. But I'm already kind of bored.
It's just oversaturation. There's just so much of it these days, and especially like it's a weird thing. But I feel, knowing what they're doing, you feel sort of not obligated, but you feel like you have to watch it to keep up, just in case this mini series pays off at some point.
Yeah, I want to be clear that this film is good, right?
Yeah.
It's just I have just seen Black Adam, which is just a straight standalone film.
Yeah.
No build up to it or anything, no further background in the DC universe or anything. It's its own thing.
Is Black Adam not Shazam stuff?
I mean it is, but it's setting up its own DC universe.
The Rock universe.
DC's so fucking weird, where it's like things are or aren't in the DC EU depending on who's directing whether they like it or not. If it does well,
if it does well, it's connected. If it doesn't, then
pretty much.
That's the one thing that Marvel tends to have down, though, is like once they have a plan, that there is actually a plan. Whereas in a DC, it's like, right, make a film. Shit, it did badly. Right, can it? We'll figure out the story somehow. Just keep going. Maybe. I don't know.
Hit James Gunn alarm, get him to again. Yeah.
That was the thing
now
about,
it's like Ezra Miller's been sent to prison, right? Or he's pending sent to prison. So it's like, all right, that's all scrubbed, I guess. We're done with that.
We can just remove the Flash, I guess. We can do that, right? One of the most important characters in DC.
I think it's also weird for DC for me how they have series, but then they will get different actors for like the movies. Like the Flash series had a different actor than the one in the movies, right?
Well, that ties back to what Sam's saying about planning, where DC at the time weren't as concerned, it seemed, about like one consistent universe. Whereas I think now that they've got like James Gunn in and they're bringing back what's his face, Geralt of Rivia, to be
Henry
Cavill to be Superman again. It feels like they're trying to like somewhat bring it all back together, right? Like keep it consistent.
If I have to watch another Superman origin story on the big screen, I think I'm...
What are we up to now? I think we're up to like 3 in my lifetime, I think.
Yeah, he's worse than Batman at this point, isn't he?
He's worse than Batman's worse than Spider-Man.
It's weird that I preferred the Superman TV series.
No, I don't think that's weird. I think most people would be with you. I haven't even watched it, and I think I prefer Superman TV
I remember one time I was like, I think a good Superman story would actually be more about Clark Kent trying to just be human than Superman being Superman. And Matt just goes to me, oh yeah, that's just a TV series. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good time.
I should get on that.
So in terms of Black Panther then, so you okay, I'm just going to ask it. Is it skippable outside of obviously passing on the mantle, I assume? I haven't seen it. Does it add anything else of substance, or is it just like...
Yes. You cannot skip this film.
Oh, okay.
Oh, bollocks. I was actually thinking of skipping this one.
I skipped. I skipped... I didn't skip it, but I waited for Thor to come to streaming stuff, because I was like,
I get... like, you should watch this film. This is a good film, but it's no Thor Love and Thunder. It's no Spider-Man. You know?
Hold on, Love and Thunder wasn't very good.
That was a bad movie.
Oh, I see. I really like Love and Thunder. So
I didn't like the way Thor kept making jokes in Love and Thunder and winking at the camera.
That was literally every character.
Maybe it just hit my humor really well. Maybe it just hit my sense of humor really well.
Holds up Spork XD.
There was some good jokes in Love and Thunder, and what's his name? Oh God, Batman. Nolan's Batman.
Oh, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, he killed it, even though he did basically.
His 7 minutes were amazing.
Yeah,
but he was that villain character in Love and Thunder was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, he just didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was hardly in it. That's the problem. I want to see the cut that's 3.5 hours long. That's just Christian Bale monologuing.
Oh, bring back the Christian Bale cut. Yeah.
I know it's out there somewhere. I know it's somewhere out there. I want it back. But yeah, you had I think for Thor: Love and Thunder, the bit that really cemented to me, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this, was when there's a really cool scene where they're fighting on like a small planet and it's all black and white and it just looks amazing. And it's like really nicely choreographed. It's all really nice silhouettes, really cool action, really cool scenery. And then it keeps cutting to like that fucking screaming goat.
The goat.
and the rock person. I can't remember his name.
Korg.
Yeah. And it's just like, can you not for 2 minutes have the screaming goat and Korg, please?
the self insert.
The
goats came all the way around to where it was funny again for me.
Yeah,
I got sick of them. Over the course of the film, I got
No.
sick of them, and then it came back around, and I thought they were funny again.
Korg is just the Waititi self insert. It's just like, okay, but what if I'm here making jokes in the background? It's like, can you not, please?
Oh, I don't know. He worked because Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel film easily. So that was, I thought Love and Thunder. I was like, I can't. This is the one I'm definitely not skipping. And then we saw it, and I was like, that was completely forgettable. I could have
Ragnarok did a little bit of like that wink, wink, nudge, nudge comedy, and it feels like they looked at that reception and when people loved that, do more of that, and then it was too much.
Yeah.
They went too far. They put too much
I
salt,
could
salt
agree
in the
with
food.
that. Yeah.
And it was, but I don't know.
You can't unfortunately skip this film. It's got a little bit too many implications.
But there's no immediate need to rush out and watch it because you can just wait for Disney Plus.
I think this is again this film almost had me in tears 3 times.
Oh damn, that bad, huh?
Damn.
I feel like it has to be seen. And now I am an emotional person, but I think it has to be seen in cinemas.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'd be bothered. The cinema.
I
don't know. I feel like, for me personally, the whole like rush to the cinema has kind of gone since the pandemic. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Cinema to me is not.
I like the cinema. I really like
The reason I go to the cinema is because I always just go as a group with friends.
Yeah.
It's like anything. It's like going out to dinner.
We've started doing when we go to the cinema, there's like a more expensive cinema like down the road from us, and it's got like they sell like wine and all this like other fancy stuff. So we tend to do we do less cinema, but when we do it, we go all out and spend a lot more and like get make an evening of it instead of just trying to go see a movie because it's out. We try and make like a night of it, I guess. But
that's our problem is we've got one cinema and it's naff. I would be going to the cinema a lot more if my local cinema wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Well, other than that, then, so you haven't played anything this week, Sam?
I mean, I've just played more of the same. I played WoW Retail this week.
Oh wait, is it dragons?
No, not dragons in 2 days.
Yeah. Sit down, Will. It's not out yet.
2 days.
2 days, yeah.
Why did everybody pick this week for literally every game to come out? What was that about?
Yeah,
they all get together.
I was gonna say, it's my week is booked out from the 15th. It's Dragonflight, then it's Warzone, and then Pokemon. So it's like I've got someone asked me to play games with them. Like, please say you want to do it at the start of the week, please. And like Monday, I'm like, yes, thank God.
It feels kind of weird for World of Warcraft and Call of Duty to step on each other's toes, considering they're both made by the same company.
Could not be more different crowds, though, could there?
I don't know, because I feel like they're both like not the best of their genre, obviously, but like the most well known amongst their genre.
Good point. I guess two of the people in this call are going to play Warzone and Dragonflight. Yeah, you're right.
I'm only playing Warzone because of you guys.
And I think COD players are definitely scalies as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I don't want to imagine that. Please don't.
I just can't. I have so many on my YouTube shorts, I have so many clips of Warzone come up, and it's always guys who are like frothing at the mouth and like clutching their desk like they're having a heart attack, and they're like, "You need to try out this loadout," and they're just like screaming into the mic. And I just think I wonder, like, try and explain like a paladin DPS rotation to these people, and like what would
if they got into WoW,
totally fucking get it.
You know they would be the best players on WoW.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Maybe
probably.
Actually saying that they might not be very good because they'd be doing their rotation too fast.
Yeah,
because they're just so off their face on sneak.
Oh, they would be like, I'm standing in this fire because it gives me a DPS boost. You better keep me healed or I'm gonna rage.
What does a sneaked up Call of Duty player play in World of Warcraft? Is it like
Rogue? Rogue. Yeah, Rogue.
Easy.
All right, well, I'm not going to let you talk about WoW today because you're going to tell us all about Dragonflight when that comes out. So, Will, you also don't have anything, right?
Yeah, hello. I've also played nothing. No, I've basically been just trying to schedule stuff for next week because next week is the everything week. I played bits and pieces of stuff. I finally tried Gunfire Reborn. Remember that game?
Nope.
The FPS Borderlands roguelike.
Gunfire. Oh my god.
A bunch of people have told me to try this, and sorry everybody, I really did not gel with this game. But I did enjoy how all of when you go to a menu, everything's written in Chinese, and then in brackets there's a French translation.
I can kind of like work it out somewhat through both languages.
So I got like maybe every fourth word I could sort of figure out what it wanted of me.
This looks like I don't know if it's going to annoy anybody, but this looks like literal mobile garbage.
So it's a roguelike. You have a wacky character, you go through levels, and then you shoot bosses, and then but every time I played it, it had the thing that I hate about roguelikes, where it feels like you get to the game doesn't get like you don't get side grades. It was just flat upgrades, and then but it got to the point where I was so far in that everything was just like one-shotting me. So the game would be like super fun and chaotic, and my guns were suddenly like, but the bullets are bouncing all over the screen and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time. And then one thing would hit me from the like, it looks like a cartoon fist fight, where it's just a big cloud of smoke, and then one thing would like tag me, and I would just die in one shot, and I was like, cool, okay, good stuff.
Is this on Steam? Like, or like
it's on Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's a paid game. Like normally.
Yeah, it's a paid game. A lot of people have spoken very highly of it. You
think you'll go back to it?
Yeah, I couldn't get onto it. No, I think I uninstalled it. I don't think I can get on with it. And then there was another game I tried called this was a demo, and I played this a little while back, but this was called Zero Sievert, Sievert, and I didn't play much of this.
Why do games have names like that? Like
they don't help themselves, do they?
No,
I think it's a foreign developer.
Still.
And this is a top-down 2D Tarkov.
Well, you're really looking for those games, aren't you?
Jesus.
I feel like I feel like an obligation to check these kind of games out now, just because it's kind of my niche. And like you said, it's like we all want a Tarkov, right?
Yeah.
And Tarkov isn't it. So every time one of these pops up, I'm like, sure, I'll give it a go. Maybe this is the one.
I've said that with the Tarkov genre, what I want, I don't know if it will ever get made, if not for a long time, because it requires so much budget. I basically want Tarkov again, but from a different developer, but with all the AAA polish. This is why I'm leaning so much towards DMZ, right? It's because if it's ever going to be a chance, this is probably it for a while.
Yeah, this is the first big budget AAA studio doing.
You had the Cycle and things like that. And it's like they were okay, but it's like they still kind of felt like AA games, like indie kind of games.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think for the COD one, I think it's gonna be COD plus those mechanics. Like, I would like to see a AAA studio make one from the scratch. You know,
this is. I think if anything will be wrong with Warzone 2, I should say, and DMZ, I think with DMZ in particular, it'll be because it's like it'll feel like a side project, right? Where it's like Warzone gets all the time and attention.
Oh,
and
yes.
And we have made DMZ, but you play it and you're like, it's kind of still got like lingering Warzone problems.
It's going to be like the Hazard Zone, the hard one mode from Battlefield, where it's just Battlefield, but they've sort of added bots and things, and it's very like it's almost like an afterthought.
You said Hazard Zone, and I was like, what's that? And I was like, hard one. You're like, oh, I remember that.
But I think the argument of like, I've seen so many people say with DMZ in particular, like, it'll just be Tarkov, but with COD shooting, and in my head, I'm like, Was COD shooting ever bad? Like, what? Like, am I going crazy? I thought like Call of Duty shooting is just really good.
No, I think the best part.
Yeah.
I think though, for me, like I'm like usually play Hunt. I play Siege. I played in the COD beta when that came out, and it was very fast paced. It was a lot to get used to. It was like, oh my god, I feel like I need to be like sniffing some cocaine just to be able to keep up with everybody.
To roll. To be in a 15-year-old.
Whereas I think with the other like looter shooters, the extraction shooters, they generally play a little bit slower pace.
They play slower, but time to kill is still 0, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, but like Call of Duty, it feels like you're just like dead because you respawn. Whereas in an extraction mode, you don't have that.
Yeah, but you might find like after launch in DMZ, people will start slowing down because they realise that after loading in, running around, and then dying because they were sprinting everywhere is not the right way to play.
No, I think they'll reward that because that's what Call of Duty players like. Yeah. They're trying to make it their Tarkov, but they don't want to alienate their Call of Duty players, do they?
Yeah.
But that's I get what you're saying, but I also feel like switching up the game style, this is the best chance for them to do it, right? Because it's like, if you don't like this slower pace of game in DMZ, Warzone 2 is a menu click away where you can go nuts.
Yeah, maybe. But then
it's a menu click and a 60 gig download.
You know they'll make you get all of it at once. There's no way you can get just DMZ or just Warzone 2. There's no way. But I think it's like you say. I'm probably wrong. It probably will just be a fast-paced Tarkov. But I hope that it's a little bit different. You know, I don't know.
I just all of the I don't know anything about the like meta game. Like in Hunt, you have your contraband and your loadout and your inventory with money, and you lose loadouts and stuff. So we don't know anything about that because they didn't show anything of that.
Yeah.
But I guess we could talk about it. I watched the like reveal event for Warzone 2.
Oh, we watched it all together. Did we watch it together? We were talking.
No, we were talking about it together.
Oh no, I mean last week they flew a bunch of streamers out to play
that one.
Warzone 2 and DMZ. I think this was like last Wednesday, I want to say.
It was a few days ago. It wasn't that long ago.
A few days ago, yeah. And we were watching it, and it looked... So it was on the Battle Royale map. It was on the same map.
Yeah.
It was squad teams of 3, and just off the gameplay, it just looked like COD, except sometimes one of the players would stop and look at a bookshelf, and there'd be like a roll of duct tape on it, and then he would put that in his backpack. And I don't know what that means, or like and then sometimes they would get like objectives where it was like go and clear out a place of NPCs.
Yeah.
But the NPCs were like completely brain dead. Like, I mean, this is pro players, right? So they're quite good at the game.
Yeah.
But they were just sprinting around like mowing down hordes of these guys, like, and they weren't even reacting for the most part. So
I'm not sure if I like the fact that it's on the same map. I think I would have preferred it to be a different, like, more tailored map for it.
I mean, I think... Well, okay, I might be wrong here as well, but I think, wasn't Tarkov at one point supposed to be one massive map, and they've just been doing it in zones?
That's always been the plan.
That's always been the plan, yeah.
I really don't ever see that. I really don't ever see that being a thing, but apparently that's the plan, yeah.
But, like, so with the argument of what, like, Steve's saying, if you never play Warzone 2 and you only play DMZ, what difference does it make to you?
That I don't think that matters. Like, I think that's fine. But like, I plan to play a little bit of Warzone and a little bit of DMZ, not extensively. I'll probably play it for a week and then I'll install. But if I'm like, am I going to be like going in and like, oh, is this the mode where I respawn? No, wait, no, you don't respawn either. But like, is this the mode where I'm trying to get to be to the final one, or am I trying to get objectives and extract? I'm not sure. I just think I would have preferred.
So you're confused as to what game you've loaded into.
I might be. I've got goldfish brain.
Oh, I love you, Steve. You're an absolute gem. You're an absolute gem.
I'm not sure. Like, sometimes I do space out there and I'm like, go back in and I'm like, oh, I'm playing Hunt right now, So I'm like, am I going to be that in like, oh, which one am I playing? Like,
you could probably, if you're running around and there's a big 99 players alive or something in the corner, you pretty safely bet you're in the battle royale.
How many players is the DMZ loading into the map? Do we know?
I'll Google it.
No idea.
I think it's 64, but I'll Google it. DMZ.
Really? Okay.
I saw that somewhere.
I like the idea of it being just a massive map, because we haven't really had an extraction. I guess Cycle kind of is like that.
The Cycle again was zones, wasn't it? It was like, here's one map.
But it's one big map, and people come and go as and when they spawn in or not. You'd have those big waves of like, oh, there's a bunch of people dropping in all at once. So I guess the next bunch of players are up, sort of thing, and you leave whenever you want, sort of thing. I like the idea of that.
I swear I saw at one point it was 64. Apparently, this article here is saying it can be up to 100. I don't know if this is true. This is somewhat old. It's going to be. Yeah, they put so much emphasis on player counts and stuff. I imagine it'll be somewhat substantial.
It's weird to me. It's out in 3 days, and we still don't really know what DMZ is.
I kind of like
DMZ, or are we playing Warzone? I'm also confused.
We're playing DMZ.
Now. Okay,
there you go. See, I'm not the only
DMZ.
one.
No, Sam's confused about what we're playing on a day. Your confusion is you load into the map, drop, and you're like, "What am I playing?"
Yeah.
Despite going through 4 different menus to get to where you are.
I'm not sure those COD menus are usually another beast.
I feel like that's deliberate. I feel like because I played the console one, right? Just for the campaign. And the menu is so confusing. I feel like a lot of it exists just to confuse you until suddenly you're just thrust into a match and you don't know how you got there. Because there'd be stuff where I'd be going around all these menus and I would press a button and, like, no joke, it's like, okay, yeah, search for players. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm just like looking around modes. Like, why am I in a match? Why is there now 12 people here? Like, what
if that's just you becoming old?
Oh no. Okay, Grandpa, let's get you out of here. You're cramping everyone's style.
Watch the battle royale. Okay. Right.
Okay, Grandpa.
No, Grandpa, stop flossing. That's the wrong game.
Anyone heard of Hunt Showdown? Okay, Grandpa, let's get you out of it. Yeah, really excited.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, it kind of feels
just
like...
just to see either way.
Just to see. It feels like when... We were talking about it earlier, like when Valorant dropped, and it's like kind of like, what is this? This is cool, this is different. When Apex dropped out of nowhere, like, oh, cool, let's play this is cool. Even though we know kind of what Warzone 2 is, it's kind of cool not to really know much about it. And it's going to be out on this day. Go play it. Have a look, see what you think. I'm excited. Okay. Well, if you're done with that, we'll move on to Steve. You got anything, Steve?
I have played a bunch of games this week, but it's all stuff I've talked about. So, like, I've done a little bit of World of Warcraft, Hunt, Dead by Daylight. I'm still heavily into Dead by Daylight. I did play a little bit of Risk of Rain 2, but I don't feel like I've played enough to really talk about it. It's like I've failed twice.
Okay, well, what we can do then, you can give me a hand. I have played a lot of Dead by Daylight this week.
Yes.
With Laura. We've been playing...
not with Steve. I'm just
not with... Or you play Killer.
Yeah.
Whereas we've basically been playing Survivor.
I'm so sorry.
It's... Okay. I've got a lot of things to say about Survivor in Dead by Daylight. So, it's really frustrating. It's fun for about 15% of what you do. which is the actual like chasing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that hasn't played Dead by Daylight or has only seen like killer stuff from Steve's streams, Survivor is 4 of you going around being chased by the killer. You have to activate generators around the map. I think there's 8 generators, and you have to activate 5 of them so you can leave. And the idea is it's kind of like you stealth around doing these generators until the killer finds you. Then you have to either escape by outmaneuvering, or you get killed and put on a hook. That's the flow of the game, basically. Doing like doing the generators is the most boring bit of being a survivor, and it's so frustrating because that's the win condition.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've played games similar, and it's a shame that Dead by Daylight they keep putting out new maps every season. I think they've got like 20, 30, 40 maps.
It was 30 killers, so I assume, and each killer gets a map usually. So I assume there's around 30 maps or something stupid.
And it's baffling to me how every single map has the same win condition, which is these generators.
Yeah,
I've played like in Silence, and that was like so different, but it was like a similar concept, but like the survivor's extraction method was go around the map to find things to then bring back to like a car to escape.
Yeah, this game is begging for a different game mode for survivors. Just anything different. But as I said, so doing generators, you hold a button down on the generator, and it's random, but you tend to find sort of every 15 seconds-ish, 15, 20 seconds, you have a skill check, which is like a timed button press, basically. And if you mess that up, the killer can see where you are and then come find you. So you have to be aware of that. But that bit is really boring. I really don't like that part of the game. But then when you get into a chase sort of the part of the game where you're being chased by the killer moves ever so slightly faster than you. So in theory, running in a straight line, the killer will always catch you. But as a survivor, there are like windows you can jump through. There are pallets you can drop to stun the killer, and there's tons of like little mind games in that respect, because it's the fact that the survivor plays in third person, so you can see a lot more, whereas the killer plays in a really restricted first person. It's like really low FOV as well, so the killer can like see shit basically. And it's just so many like just fun jukes you can do. Like you jump over a window and then start going left, but then like turn right instead, and then just little things, and then you completely juke them and you go somewhere else, and to then be somewhere else. Because again, you're in third person, right? You can be hiding behind a crate, and you can see over the crate. To see the killer like searching around, like where you just were, and he like not being able to fight. It's really fun. It's really fun. And it's really annoying that sort of that 20% of the game of each match is so fun, because everything else around it is kind of bad. But it really keeps you playing because it's fun. How do you find Killer, Steve?
Killer is still by far like so enjoyable. It's like so fun to just be like, I'm gonna log on, go murder some people, and
yeah.
I think the big thing at the moment is there are honor rules, which
yeah.
It's like, oh, don't tunnel someone. Like if you've got the option, like go chase someone else, and don't camp the hook and stuff. And I'm of the opinion where a lot of them, I'm like, they have mechanics in the game to punish this.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, a lot of the focus is on the killer, whereas the honor rule for survivors is Discord usage. Basically, it's like playing on Discord compared to playing without Discord is night and day difference.
Yeah.
Because if you're on Discord, you can if you're like playing alone, you're on a generator, you have no idea what's happening across the map unless someone gets downed. Whereas if you're on Discord, you could be like, oh, I'm being chased by the killer over here, you're safe to do the generators, like you don't have to worry. and you can kind of be like, oh, the killer's left this place and he's gone left. So if you come from the right, you're fine to get me. Where so in that there's that honor rule, but you can't really ever honor it. So I'm like of the opinion where I'm like, I have those rules in my mind. If I'm feeling generous, I'll stick to them. But if I'm feeling quite spicy, I want that win. I will get that win.
I've always found like when I do play killer, it's kind of like my objective is to win and kill you all, and it's like when you kill someone, you put them on a hook, and that takes them out of the game until someone takes them off the hook. And if they get hooked 3 times, they're dead.
Yes.
And then if I put someone on a hook, someone comes and rescues them whilst I'm there, and they both go 2 separate ways, right? And logic would dictate that you go towards the person that just got rescued. Because they've been hooked once, you hook them again. They're closer to death. But that's bad manners.
Well, it's all, but it's also
right. I'm going to cut in here.
Yeah.
It's also because the person that just got off the hook is 1 health state lower. So it's more efficient if you're trying to win the game to go for the person that has both health states.
But then it's also that person who's off the hook has like immunity to damage for like 15 seconds. So if you can, you can chase that person, but you've got to chase them for a bit and then hit them. Whereas the person who's like just dehooked them and run off, you can get them like instantly.
Yeah. So I want to just preface this with the reason these like rules became like BM and stuff is because when you do them, you're actually basically just throwing as the killer. If you camp someone and tunnel someone, you're basically saying, I'm going to ruin this person's day. I have no intent on winning.
But I think at least
why people.
I'm not sure if it's just like the MMR that I'm at. I think I'm low gold.
I'm a high gold. I think there's like gold and then prism, so we're actually not that bad.
Oh, okay. I've just been reset to the lowest rank. I think they reset like every month or something.
It's on the 13th of every month.
Oh, that's today. Huh. Yeah, I just feel like I've been put in situations where it has been beneficial to me to take out the person that has already been hooked. If I loop around looking for generators as the killer and I have someone hooked and then I'm coming back around them as they're being taken off the hook just by like almost by coincidence.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where people are called bullshit, but at the end of the day, if you go to every generator, and swing by because you've done the loop, sucks for them. It's like if you hook someone and basically just stay within range of the hook, like
I don't do that. That's not because like you say that is throwing
yes, you're
going to
guarantee that person dies. But realistically, obviously it varies, it's different skill levels, but it's like you should be punished more often than not by the 3 people just going and doing generators because you've decided you're not going to play the game.
I've heard that there's like 3 levels of camping hooks. There's like you're standing right in front of the hook, which I've done like I think twice because I'm like these people were so annoying. And then there's like you're going off, but you're close enough to come back if you notice like anyone nearby going for them. And then there's also just you run off, and I usually run off and stuff. It's weirdly unfortunate because sometimes like you'll see like you go off a bit, then like they get off the hook, and you go back because you're like that's the only sound I know where people are roughly. And you come across, and it's like if it's a newer player. And you come across them, and you're like, oh, I want you to be free, but you're the only one here, so I have to get you again. There was a match, actually, that... Because the matchmaking isn't very good in Dead by Daylight, I find. Like,
sometimes weird,
I go against like newer players, and sometimes I go against players who I'm like, oh, I stand no chance. There was one match which was so frustrating. It was the one... Like, there was one match where that people were, like, bug abusing or... like flashlight abusing with lockers, but that's been patched or that's being
patched they got fixed. They were every time you were coming, you were going into a locker, you kept getting flashlighted.
Or there was one match where I'm not sure if it's just bad hook placements or whatnot, but I was downing people, and instantly the other survivors were damaging the hooks, and they stay damaged for like 20 seconds, but that means I had nowhere to take the survivor, and it just they kept doing it, and I was like, I could not hook anyone because they just kept damaging the hooks, and that like there's only been 2 matches, as I said. I've played quite a lot of Dead by Daylight now, and there's only been 2 that have like frustrated me.
Yeah, I have started seeing.
I'm just really still enjoying it still.
I feel like I have started seeing the stuff that made me quit the first time I played this, though. I feel like because the game is so mind game based, it's almost like a fighting game, right? Where it's like the game is less about the mechanics and more about like you versus the person directly behind their screen. And it's like, okay, what are you going to do next? I'm going to read you. I think you're going to juke this way. I'm going to do that. And because of that, the losses can be really brutal, at least for my ego, I find. Because it's like, you didn't lose because, like, oh, my aim was shit that game. Or, you know, oh, this, that, or the other. It's like, no, I got utterly outsmarted by 4 other people as a killer. Or we got completely dismantled as survivors by a killer that just was just better. And it's like, that can be quite frustrating, I think.
So you said Survivor is just not very fun right now. What would you do to Survivor to make it more fun? But more of a party game or whatever?
Yeah, new game mode. Just a different game mode that doesn't involve generators. Something like, so because most of the game is you having to do this mechanic of sit at a generator, hold left click, and do timed button presses whilst nothing else is happening. You're spinning the camera looking for a killer, but nothing else is happening. And it's just not very engaging. Sometimes it's just like, I'm sitting there doing a generator, and I'm hoping the killer turns up and chases me because it's more fun than what I'm doing. Because I can't just go out and find the killer and start a chase, because that's just throwing.
That's a you thing.
But like, that's the game to me. That is the game is this game of chase against another opponent. Whereas if anyone out there plays the game because they enjoy doing the generators, then I'm sorry, but you're a maniac. You
need to change your style of play. You need to go hunting for the killer.
That's not beneficial
and, like, drag them around.
I suppose you could do that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Take a flashlight and be the bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that.
But then you're not helping the team, right?
Well, I am, because
you're distracting the killer for God knows how long.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I see.
A big part of the game is because the killer is going to find someone, right? It's inevitable. You cannot hide from the killer forever, so someone is going to get chased. And as soon as you're getting chased, it's half the game. Half the fight is trying to lose the killer, but it's also trying to keep them occupied for as long as possible, hoping that your teammates are doing the boring shit whilst you're doing this. The problem is in low MMR, they're normally not. They're normally in a box somewhere, or just like crouched in a corner.
Right. Okay.
I might do that. Just like maybe try and play more aggressively towards the killer as a survivor. The problem with that is that if you do that and then you're not very good, you are worse than useless.
Well, I think with Survivor, you play any Survivor, if you've got all the perks, Survivors are basically cosmetic skins. I think the idea is, though, you take perks specifically to help against that.
Yeah.
And like bait the killer. I will say I've been enjoying watching like some of like the Dead by Daylight content creators who are like really good at the game, and I'm like because I'm like, oh, am I doing anything particularly wrong? I'm like, oh, I seem to be playing similar to what they are. They just like know where every single pallet is. They know every single route and stuff. But I'm like, oh, I'm not far off these people. Maybe I'm good at this game.
It shows. It can be tricky to see with these sorts of games, and again, I keep comparing it to like fighting games, but it can be hard always to like see the amount of skill that's going on sort of underneath everything. And and from what I've seen, because I've watched some YouTube stuff of this as well, and it's like when you watch people on YouTube that have like thousands of hours with this game, and they're playing Survivor, they literally run circles around killers. I know it's like it's clipped content, right? It's like here's the best thing that happened, but it's just like they are just like running in a straight line and then like go this way, that way. Oh, you can't catch me, doing circles and spins and shit, and just like this person just cannot hit them because they're just all over the place.
I was going to say, I watched Steve chase a guy around the same like hospital counter for about. It felt like an hour.
I hate that. That hospital map. I think anyone could kite me around. I cannot play that hospital map at all. That's my one weakness is that map.
I had to get up and walk away from my keyboard after that. I've never been so frustrated at something that I'm not even involved in.
And that's what I mean. The lows are really low when they can be.
It's usually it's only that map that people can really ring me around, but other maps I'm perfectly like I feel like I would say I've got like a 90% win rate, which I count a win as at least one, but usually 2 kills.
A win with killer is 3 or 4 kills, my guy.
I take the victories where I can get them. Don't you dash my dreams. I've got a 90% win rate in my head.
Yes, I think it's like on the comparison to that about like how frustrating that is. The reason these games are as good as they are sometimes is when it's like we're talking about like reading an opponent and being inside their head, where they go one direction as a survivor, and you as a killer go, I think you're going to turn back around and go this way. So you do that, and they're just staring you in the face, and you're like, you slash them, and you're just in your head, you're like, I am a genius. I am so smart. But yeah, I've been playing this a lot. I now have it. I had it on Game Pass, but I now have it on Steam. So I think I will get some DLC at some point.
Yes, we've got the new stuff coming on the 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, I just missed that big, juicy Halloween sale, which is kind of annoying.
There'll be more sales. It's always on sale. And if you are okay with key reselling sites, everything but the Stranger Things stuff is usually pretty cheap.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait until... I'm going to assume there's going to be something for Black Friday on Steam and have a look then and just see if anything's discounted. But yeah, been playing a shitload this week. Been having a lot of fun with Dead by Daylight. I think that's kind of all I've played, really. I know it was I think I just hijacked your section, Steve.
Oh, well, I had no section, so...
I will say the other thing I've been playing a lot of is God of War Ragnarok.
I was going to say, I thought that was going to be the main event today.
I'm not ready yet. So, in that, what I mean is that in the image of God of War, please don't spoil it.
Is that because you're gestating on your opinion, or because you haven't finished it?
I haven't finished it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've been playing God of War Ragnarok. I think as of this point, I'm probably about 13, 14 hours in. I did. I went online, and because I thought I was quite far in, and I looked up just like how many chapters there are, and I found out that I am like a quarter of the way through.
Oh, what? No way.
I'm a quarter of the way through, and then I mentioned to you earlier that I was like 10 hours in. I played a bunch more this afternoon and early evening, and it's all been side content stuff that I've been doing. And
so you're doing, this is 14 hours and you're doing everything?
I'm basically doing everything, yeah.
Two quick questions. A, would you recommend it? And B, do you think this still like can be game of the year? Like, do you think it's got good potential to overtake like Elden Ring?
Okay, so to both of those questions, game of the year has a very, very strong chance. Again, I haven't finished it. I've heard a few bits online about how it gets really interesting during a certain part of the game. Don't know what that means, but we'll see what happens there. Would I recommend it? 100%. If you've played God of War 2018, this is the next part of the story. It almost carries on exactly where the first game ends. I think the first game ends with Atreus having a dream of Thor turning up at the cabin.
Who's Atreus?
The kid, the boy.
Boy, okay.
He has a dream of Thor turning up, and then he wakes up and goes, wow, that was weird. And then the base game carries on, right? Because you can't just carry on from there. But this game basically carries on exactly from that point. So it's just the next part of the story. It is amazing. I'm really loving it. What I will say is, I'll throw it out there quickly. It feels more like God of War 1.5 than
Okay.
God of War like 2, because
Yeah.
it's basically it's the same as the first game, but a little bit deeper here and there. But there's not a whole lot of amazing new stuff going on, if I'm being entirely honest. But it's like that's not a complaint, because I think it's already really, really good.
How have you found? Because I've seen some clips online of this. How have you found the like hand holding?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I've heard what you. Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean specifically? Sorry.
Okay.
So where your guy, your God of War, he runs up to some kind of spinny puzzle platform, and your side character, your boy, will immediately go, "Father, throw the axe at the thing, right? You get it?" And then you do that, and he's like, "Oh, now throw this at this."
Laura made that comment because she was watching for a bit whilst I was actively playing, and I think Artreus solved the puzzle for me before I had a chance to finish it, when I knew from the get-go what the solution was.
Yeah.
to the point where it's like, okay, why is this puzzle here in the first place? If not only is it instantly solvable, but you're going to tell me the answer before you've even done it. It's
yeah.
Yeah, so...
Is that a common thing, or was that just that like a bad example?
It's like it's not common, but it does feel like it has. I was going to say like the Marvel thing, but I think a lot of stuff does it now, where it's like, you know, when people can't shut up and they feel like they have to fill every section with just like a bit of dialogue, or there are some parts where it feels like they'll say something, and I was like, you just, there's no reason to say that. It's like it doesn't add anything. I would have rather.
Ones I've seen. It's like the second you get set on fire, he goes, "You're on fire."
Yeah. But I bet But what that is they must have done a focus test at some point, right? And they come out of it and they're like, no one. People kept getting on set on fire. No one noticed. How are we going to fix that? Yeah.
But yeah, I think what's just carrying me through it so far, because the combat was already really fun, but what's just carrying me through is just the story. It's just so good. Whenever I meet a new character, I just want them to say more things, or I want to know more about them, or it's just the the cinematography, because it's like the first one, right, where it's all one uncut camera move, right? The entire game never cuts.
Do they stick to that?
They stick to that, yeah.
Oh boy,
and it's
just cool.
It's really good. I'm trying to think what else there is to add, because I don't want to go. Yeah,
I was gonna say, I think the NPC dialogue being instantly like solving puzzles and instantly on fire might be a bug. Like usually games like
these games.
But usually they like give you a little bit of breathing time first. And so it might just be like, because like that's not something that a Q&A tester might immediately pick up. They might think, oh, it's just fast, or it could be a bug, or it could be something that they could probably delay a little bit in a patch.
It's not a bug. There is not a single hair out of place with this game. It is pristine. What I will say is, graphically, it kind of looks like the first God of War, but like on steroids. It's like nothing is absolutely mind-blowing graphically. What they do, like aesthetically, is really cool, and it's mind-blowing, right? Like just the fact of like what is happening on screen is really cool. But like I've just come off of The Last of Us Part 1, right? Which was the PS5 remake of The Last of Us.
Oh yeah. And
that game is stunning. Like that is the best looking game in my opinion on PS5. Whereas this just looks like God of War 2018, but everything is 4K. It runs at 60 FPS. There's no aliasing, or like the shadows are all crisp. There's like I said, it's not hair out of place, right? And I think it still looks amazing, but I reckon, and you were saying about getting this on PS4, I bet this game looks great on PS4.
I just don't. I'm in a weird spot where I've been umming and ahhing about buying a PS5 for ages.
Yeah.
And Ragnarok would be the perfect game to do it. So I don't want to pull the trigger, but I'm not. I can't commit to like a £500 console right now, right?
Yeah.
Unless I see a really good deal. But also, I want to play God of War, but I don't want to buy the previous version. If at some point soon, it's a whole mess.
Yeah.
It's a whole mess right now.
I will say I almost added it to the news stories, but I didn't. Like there was a news story this week being Final Fantasy 16 is got like there was like a trailer or something that says it's got PS5's got 6 months exclusivity. So that could apply to God of War as well, where like in 6 months it will come to PC, and also like PlayStation might like when Final Fantasy 16 comes out, if you're interested, that will be on PlayStation 5 at least for 6 months before PC. If you know
how long between God of War console and God of War PC?
I don't know.
I reckon a couple of years. I reckon a couple of years.
That's what I would. God of War 14th of January this year, 2022, and it was 2019. God of War.
It's God of War 2018 is what everyone calls it. So I'm going to assume 2018.
Wasn't it like December?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was end of the year. It's like everyone says, like it's how you remember it because it was like Doom 2016, God of War 2018, Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah.
Then I think
it was April 2018. So it's yeah.
We've only recently started getting like big budget PlayStation exclusives on PC. Like Horizon was one of the big ones where it's like, oh, that's coming to PC. No one expected that. Like no one expected God of War on PC either, did they?
True.
Now
but I feel like God of War is what if they were going to take their sweet time putting anything on PC, it would be God of War.
Yeah, you'll see Horizon Forbidden West on PC before you see this. So when there's talks of Horizon,
it came out first.
I think,
but that's what he means. We need to wait for Horizon before we even think about God of War.
When you start seeing Horizon Forbidden West on PC, then you'll start. This will be the next logical one, right? I reckon. I also reckon you'll see Last of Us Part 2 on PC before Ragnarok.
But I thought wait. So do we have Last of Us? Wait, I don't know which Last of Us are on PC. There's like 4 or 5 different versions.
As of right now, I think none of them, but Part 1 is coming soon. There's
no Last of Us on.
No, but
PC yet,
but Part 1 is coming to PC. The remake.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure. The Last of Us Part 1 PC. Last of Us for PC. I'm pretty sure during.
Yeah, it was definitely when it was all those announcements. It was like it was.
Yeah, they did like it was at the ending of Summer Game Fest. They were like Last of Us Part 1 remake also coming to PC. Also, we're making a multiplayer Last of Us. They did like a whole bunch of Last of Us stuff, and this got lost in it.
There was also the TV show as well.
Yeah, they're like Part 1 remake, Part 2 coming to PS5, multiplayer version, Part 1 coming to PC, TV show. It's like, oh god, so much Last of Us. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get Ragnarok out of my system when I finish it, because I'm going to have no one to talk to, because you're not going to want to talk about story stuff, because you're going to play it. You being Will.
I was going to say, why don't you just lend Will your PS5? Like you can cope for a couple of weeks without it, right?
Nah, I play it a lot.
Yeah, you do actually.
Maybe I'll just do like, I don't know. I'll just scream into like a bag. But yeah, so that's.
You should record a one-sided conversation.
Yeah,
and then when I finish it, I will respond.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. I'll do a 10-minute recording. Maybe I'll do it at the end of one of the podcasts. I'll be like, all of you lot, go away now. I'm just going to talk to myself about Ragnarok.
That's not a bad idea, yeah. Let's just listen to me on Josh sat on his own in his room talking about God of War for 10 minutes. I'd listen to that once I finished God of War.
In 2026.
When it comes to PC, yeah.
All right, well, I got a lot of it out here. I was going to wait until I finished it, but yeah. God of War Ragnarok, really, really good. Just want to play more. I start full-time work tomorrow, so I'm not going to finish this for ages, but I am thoroughly impressed by what I've played so far, and also excited that I'm apparently nowhere near the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're good.
No,
I was going to say, I remember the last game kind of railroading you into the ending at some point, so maybe it speeds up.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
It does.
I remember it getting really open, and then it sort of funnels back in again towards the end.
I think it's gonna do. It does similar to what the first game did, where it's like you can kind of go to, what's it, like 9 realms in these?
Yeah.
It's like there are 9 realms, right? And in the first game, you go to like 1 or 2 of them, and they're so massive, and there's so much stuff to do. Where it's like, you go around your boat and you do little missions and story stuff.
Yeah,
and
some of them were like story
Yes.
levels, and others were like almost not mini games, but side content sort of thing.
But I kind of felt like, surely we're not going to go to all of them, right? And you do. You go to all.
Yeah.
And I feel like
you do in some form. Yeah,
I've had that in Ragnarok. I've done a couple of the realms that are like really massive and they have big open bits. And I'm like, well, surely they're not going to all be like this. And then I just got to like a third one, and it's all so massive. And there's just it does that thing where it's like, if we're done here, if you want to carry on the main story, just like go through this portal over here. But you could get in that boat and go down the river, and we could do some stuff down there. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And that was like 4 hours just gone as I'm sorting out this character's backstory in a boat. I love it. It's really good. Yeah. Okay. We'll push on from that then. That's everything we played for the week. We got a lot out of that considering we hadn't played much this week.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We'll do. What did we have? We did have a quick question which we can answer very quickly. If I can find it.
Oh God.
I've got to navigate through images of Dr. Fate and stuff. And there he is.
Yeah.
Very quickly, we'll do this very, very, very quick question. Just one game from your childhood that you'd like to see remade. What do you remember from your childhood that hasn't had a remake?
See, I would say Gotcha Force, but I've talked about that a lot. I feel like I want like a co-op game that I used to play with my brother. So either like the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, or like Bugs and Taz, Time Busters. Like something like, just like those games where you'd play it with like your brother or your friend. I feel like we don't have too many of those anymore. Like we had It Takes Two, which sort of had that vibe. And there's not very many co-op games about much anymore, I don't feel like. So just one of those like nostalgia ones would be nice.
I just want it's not really a remake, but something I've been waiting for a long time that I still can't really play. Is they made a compilation of games? What was it called? It was Rare something. Rare Replay.
The Rare Replay collection. Yeah.
You can't play that on PC. I'm pretty sure, because my answer to this question was going to be like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, just like some kind of compilation of both of them. But they're kind of
Banjo Nuts and Bolts, right?
So Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie would be really cool to have a modern version of. I think Rare Replay is on Game Pass for console.
But only on consoles. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of my childhood games, like the Banjo-Kazooies and Perfect Dark, they have been remade, locked to this game that I can't play without buying an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X. So I would love that. I guess not that remade, but like a port.
You can. My Xbox One is in the garage. You can have it if you want. You can play through all the Rare Replay collection. I was 100% if you want to take it off my hands.
Well, it's like there's like 15 games on that collection or something, I think. But I just want
is on that collection.
I just want 3 of them. I just want Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2 and Perfect Dark.
Wait, and Conker's Bad Fur Day, right?
Never really played that as a kid.
But that watching like how inappropriate that game was and how like many movie references and stuff. It's a game that I dream about playing. But
a lot of these games now are so dated that I can only play them because I played them as a kid.
Yeah,
does that makes sense.
I was gonna say on the Rare Replay, apparently it's been like modernized slightly, but it's also been censored. And I'm like, just give me the uncensored version, please.
All right, what's yours, Sam?
I'm really struggling because I have such fond memories that I'm like, for what purpose would I like them remastered? You know?
I thought you were going to say I'm really struggling because World of Warcraft is still going.
I think I just have to go with like my favorite game of all time, which is Dark Chronicle. I'd love a sequel, but I'd take a remaster.
Did that have was Dark Cloud part of that series?
Yeah, it was Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2.
Yeah,
but it was called Dark Chronicle over here
in the UK.
I played one of them, and I remember I did the first zone, and it was like, oh, I really enjoyed it. Got to the second zone, it was so hard, and I couldn't. But that would just might be like child Steve
Dark
being like,
Cloud was a hard game.
Are they
Just because
JRPGs?
mechanically,
What are they?
they're like action JRPGs.
Yeah.
if I remember
action
correctly,
RPGs.
it was like kind of a dungeon. Like you do dungeons, but then you'd also like build up your village or something
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
and-
You had to go dungeon crawling, but it was like press X to attack or hold L1 and press X to fire your ranged weapon.
I just remember being as a kid being like, look at this Link looking motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, Dark Cloud was a bit. Well, it was still a good game, but it was a lot clunky.
Yeah.
A lot clunkier. Dark Chronicle, however, is still to this day a masterpiece in my head.
Dark Cloud experience on PS4 in 1080p with up rendering and trophies, 2015.
Yeah, they got a like upscaling, up rendering.
You want a
but-
proper remake.
Yeah.
Alright, what's yours then, Will?
I mean, come on.
Halo.
Star Fox, obviously.
Lilac Wars.
Star Fox.
It's Lilac Wars.
It's Lilac Wars.
That's been
yeah.
remade. It's on 3DS.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but I don't have a 3DS, so
I, have
I
like
want a
4 or
remake
5.
in the. I want to get Sony Santa Monica to make it. I want the God of War guys to make my Lilac Wars remake with lots of Fox McCloud looking soulfully into the camera.
Yeah,
you know?
one long uncut camera pan.
Yeah, they have to they get Fox McCloud out of retirement. He has a son now, and he has to take him through and teach him how to be a pilot. That's what I want.
Yeah, he's
No,
got
he
big
doesn't
lips.
have a son.
It's all done in a one shot
He
somehow.
has Slippy as his son, adopted son. He's like, Slippy,
Yeah,
come.
It is your time to
exactly.
do the barrel roll.
yeah. No, I just think I don't know. There's like, what I didn't remember about the Lilac Wars when we played through it. I was like, some of these they have really cool, like, I mean, cinematography for an N64 game is a strong word, but you know, like there were some shots in that where I'm like, I bet this would look really cool in like Unreal 5. You know?
Yeah. I feel like one
This game
person
would be
could do
sick.
that. I feel like one crazy person out there could just be like, yeah, I made Lilac Wars. in
All of
Unreal-
Lilac Wars.
All of
in-
Lilac Wars in Unreal Engine 5.
in Unreal 5. Yeah.
A lot of
yeah.
it is like default assets and stuff, but you don't notice. It's just like one guy over a couple of years made Lilac Wars.
yeah. Other than that, I don't really know. I don't have many. I would like some of the old Ratchet and Clanks to be remade, but they've also just been almost remade a bunch of times.
Although
haven't
the
they?
gameplay in Ratchet and Clank hasn't really changed. They've just gotten prettier and prettier. So you could argue
but
that
I
they're
mean, I'm pretty sure I played one recently where I was like, this all feels weirdly familiar, and then one of the characters was like, they like fourth wall broke, and they were like, hey, you know, you
Yeah.
seem familiar, and it was like, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, is this a remake in disguise? What the fuck? I think it was.
I think one of them was. I can't remember which one. I think like one of the ones on PS3
Yeah,
was just.
yeah.
Then they did a movie as well, and then they did like, oh, I don't know. It all gets weird. They did like
all
a
get weird.
remake
Oh,
of a
we
movie
did-
as well.
That reminds me. This is completely off topic, but there's a show on Netflix right now, and it's called like Trivia Man or something, and it's one of those. It's an interactive game. You play it with your remote, and it just says it's just a bunch of like random trivia questions. And for me, it was giving me stuff like, which of these is not a Rembrandt painting, right?
Yeah.
And it was just a whole. And I was like, well, I'm fucking guessing. I don't know any of those. And then Erin took over. It went to hers. One of her questions was, which of these characters is the robot from the popular series Ratchet and Clank? Ratchet or Clank? I was like, the Clank. Which one is it gonna be when one of them is called Clank?
Could be
Yeah,
Ratchet.
but Ratchet's like a tool. That could be a robot, right?
It's not. Yeah, you're not wrong. Ratchet is a tool you use to tighten bolts, right?
I know
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Steve the mechanic. All right, let's we'll go on to some news from there. That question that we just answered was from Tired Musician. Our man, Tired Musician, love that guy.
He's okay.
He's all right. If you've got any questions you want to add to the podcast, you can always put them in the comments of the YouTube video or in the Discord links, or you can email them in at thegameforecast@gmail.com. Right, so we'll go through some news then from here. This is created by Steve this week, but I think he's found some quite good ones. Because in terms of like smashing headlines, there's not a crazy amount, but this one I thought was quite funny, so I wanted to do it first. This was yeah. So what's his name? Lucky Palmer Lucky. Jesus Christ. He was the original Oculus co-founder before it was all sold off to Facebook, and he's created a thought-provoking VR headset that kills you if you die in the game. So obviously this isn't real, but there's like concepts for it, and it's like 3 bolts here. You can see if you're looking at the image that if you die in the game,
it's not real burn.
It's not real burn.
Maybe
it just blasts your forehead basically if you die in the game. And obviously everyone's talking about was it Sword Art Online?
Sword Art Online is a popular anime, which the concept of that is, well, of the first season is people go into this VR reality world, and if they die, they're trapped in there, and if they die in the game, they die in real life, and they have to beat the final boss to escape. And
you can't take the headset off because you die. So it's just people would just like put on IVs with a headset on basically, and it's like, I'm just playing this now. But I thought this was quite funny when you sent this one, Steve. It's just like, who the fuck would actually put this on?
I'm not sure. People like, I could imagine influencers doing it. Anything for the highest stakes.
It's the next logical step from having an Iron Man mode, right? Is the game it actually kills you if you die.
Yeah, the ultimate hardcore mode. You actually die.
XCOM, you just tick that box, and then the game just shoots you if you fail.
But you're playing You're playing fucking Cyberpunk VR with this headset on, and you're walking down the road, you fucking no clip fall through the floor and just die.
I mean, if it takes off, I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here could be really interesting next season.
I'd love the customer support tickets that get opened where it's like, hey, my, there was a hacker in your game and now my son is dead. What the
fuck? He knew what he signed up for. It's just like, I love that everyone's talking about like Sword Art and all these long-lasting games that like if you eventually die, you die in real life. What if it's just like Call of Duty or something?
Around a Counter-Strike, yeah.
You spawn, you run around a corner, die, and that's it.
You watch. This will be within the year. There'll be a TikTok of I played Call of Duty with a kill yourself VR headset on, and here's what happened.
Or there'll be a YouTube video of I took this concept and made it real.
Is that what it's called, Will? The Kill Yourself VR.
Kill yourself VR, yeah. Kill yourself IRL VR in brackets in a video game.
Yeah, at 3 a.m. At 3 a.m. brackets scary.
At 3 a.m.
Yeah. No, I love this. Someone will make this at some point. Like this is all like haha concept, but like
I mean, it's like I could make this. You just you just get an Oculus and strap a shotgun to it. Like
you just hold a gun to your head whilst you're playing fucking Beat Saber. play Beat Saber, but put knives on the ends of the controllers, and that way, if you fuck up, you slash yourself to bits.
Oh god, it's got dark very quickly. By YouTube monetization.
It can't not get dark, right? It's literally a headset that shoots you in the forehead, not once, 3 times.
We've got to make sure.
Yeah. Triple tap. But yeah, that was that one. Next one, you've got BioWare releases new Mass Effect 4 teaser. Says pre-production is going well. There's like not a whole lot of news here. It's just a little bit of a teaser.
This was just like teaser, and they're saying it's going well.
So yeah, it was N7 day.
Was it a bunch of footage of people typing on keyboards?
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of
blurry screens in the background.
Yeah. And then it zooms in on a dog, and the dog's mouth opens. No, it's just I think I was watching some stuff about Andromeda the other day because obviously anyone that knows about Mass Effect Andromeda, that game. I'm not sure if it tanked sales-wise, but it was not a good game. And people were not happy with Andromeda. And a lot of the news leading up to Andromeda was about how we finished Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. That story's done. We're done with Shepard. That part is done. and they want to do their own thing. Whereas now, it's almost like they've 180'd, realised that was a bad idea, and are going straight back into sequel territory. Because, people are so attached to older characters.
Yeah. It's one of them ones where it's like, you know when we call things slam dunks?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, you just make Mass Effect 4, it's just a slam dunk. And I'm there like, I don't think it is.
I do honestly think that Mass Effect Andromeda doing as bad as it did and having all those issues was a failed slam dunk. That should have been.
Well,
I don't.
Didn't 3 have the bad ending, which everyone hated, that they had to fix?
So 3 had the terrible ending, but I think now that a lot of time has passed, in retrospect, I don't think that sours the whole story. I do think there's still amazing characters and some really good writing in the overall trilogy. And I think to come out and be like, with Andromeda, we're starting again in the same universe, but whole new characters and aliens and different places. Forget all the old characters, and a lot of people were just like, really, really like those old characters.
Yeah, but I am sympathetic in the sense that, look, they had 3 games, and they did kind of end the series. Sometimes you've got to let a series.
Yeah, I think the Andromeda premise was really clever, where it's just it's not really a sequel. It's somewhere else.
Well,
space is big enough that.
Well, that's why I said it was like a failed slam dunk. It should have been a slam dunk. But
yeah.
I'm the biggest.
This is one of them. You think you do, but you don't. With more Mass Effect, Shepard.
I don't know. It's hard because I do feel like that whole Shepard thing was wrapped up, but at the same time, I'm like, I could play another game with Shepard. That would be cool. There's no.
We need for better or for worse. Mass Effect ended. It had an ending.
Yeah.
We just need way in the future. Just what's going on now. Whereas, and you see the descendants of all these people and where their races are at and because that can be really fun. Then it's you've got all the familiarity of the Mass Effect, but it's enough time has passed that it's a fresh take.
I'm trying to remember
Otherwise, you become Halo.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
Otherwise, you become Halo. Yeah, sounds exactly right. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember what the canon ending was to Mass Effect 3. What state the universe was left in. I know it was they added the green ending because you had the meme of what color did you pick, red or blue?
No. They always had red, blue, or green, and then they added the ending where you reject all of it and just die.
And I think that's the canon ending, right?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you.
One of them was one of the endings was reset the universe, I think, or something. And then just everything dies.
There was one where they blow up the relays, so everyone goes back to the Stone Age.
I think that's the canon ending.
And then there's one. There was what's the other one? The one where Shepard becomes the Reapers, and they all just leave. And then there's the one where all of organic and machine life fuses and becomes the same thing. And then the ending is the pilot guy banging that robot. Not implied, obviously not.
Oh, what Seth Green?
Yes.
Chris Griffin.
I think it's been so long.
Chris Griffin bangs someone else, and that's the ending to Mass Effect. Done. Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
Added. Yeah, no. It was always red, green, and blue was in, and then they added the reject Starchild or whatever the fuck his name was.
Oh my god, the child! I forgot.
Something like that.
They didn't help themselves by literally having the big colours for whatever ending you choose, because it literally became the meme of what colour was your ending? Which colour did you pick? What colour? Green sucks. Here's why red is better.
Yeah.
I think it was just there was so much promise where they were we're going to take all your choices and make them matter. And then they got to the start of the development of the 3rd game, and they were fuck, we can't actually do that.
Yeah. But and that's a real shame because like different people click with different things, right? And I remember one of the I'm not going to be able to remember what exactly it was, but I did something in 2 that really resonated with me. And then in 3, it was like I got an email that was like, right, we've wrapped all that up. So
yeah,
good for us, I guess. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I think my one was like there was some alien bug race that I saved in the first game because you can either choose to wipe it out or save it. And they were like, remember that? It'll be really,
yeah.
It'll be really important. That's going to be massive. And then it was just like, I think there's one floating in the background during the final fight. And that was it. I don't know. It's like, I remember when the third game was coming out, my mind was racing because I got like so caught up. Like, oh my God, how are they going to do this and that? And I did that in this game. How will that? And just like none of it really mattered.
Yeah.
It was all just...
They also just weirdly shoehorned all the way through 1 and 2. Shepard was just a blank slate. And then in the third one, there was this weird, like, he has PTSD and he's...
Yeah.
And all of humanity is represented by this one kid that he keeps seeing everywhere. It was fucking weird.
You had... what was it in the second game? They wanted to... From the start, they were doing the big overarching story of, like, your character will be really important from the first game onwards. But then they realised that people will jump in at the second game, and you can't not do that. So they just kill Shepard at the start of the second game, and they like rebuild him or clone him. And it's like your choices still matter, but yeah, this is a kind of like a cloned Shepard. Like I don't know, it's weird. And that was like also the excuse for like if you changed the way your Shepard looked, you could do it then. And they'd be like, "Don't you look different?" No, I've been cloned. Yeah, it's like I think on paper the idea is so cool to have this really massive, deep narrative that goes across so many games. But when you really start to think about it, you realize how insanely hard that is to do.
Yeah,
if not impossible to the quality that people expect, right? I think other games do a good job. I think, didn't The Witcher 2 have a lot of stuff that carried over into the third game? Am I getting confused?
Witcher 2 carried some stuff. I think
it did. I can't remember this, but
I can't remember. I played Witcher 2 on PC and then 3 on console, so I have no idea. Yeah, I did that with Mass Effect as well, actually, but the reverse.
There have been other games that have done something similar, but they haven't made the same grandiose promises that EA made for Mass Effect. So, but yeah, TLDR, I play the shit out of a new Mass Effect 4. Why not?
Why not?
I've been thinking about playing Andromeda. Actually, I keep hearing about how Andromeda kind of looks jank and the story's jank, but it plays pretty well. So
yeah, they were really getting into their like third-person combat swing in Andromeda. It's not a terrible game. No. It's just not a great follow-up to Mass Effect.
Anyway, that's the Mass Effect stuff. You then have really quick one. There's not really much to add so far, but Control 2 has been confirmed to be in development for modern consoles and PC. Why are you sad, Steve?
Because I played through Control and I enjoyed it somewhat, but there were mechanics in that game where I was just like, I don't care about like fighting anymore. I turned on the cheats. You can go to the menu and turn on the cheats where you're like, I don't die and I kill things one hit because you had to backtrack so much, and every single time it would be like
really, because my one thing with that game was it was way too easy to just lob chairs at people until you win.
Oh yeah, but it felt like I was trying to like explore a bit, and then it would be like every single time you go into a new room, you need to destroy a whole room of enemies before you can progress and stuff. I guess find out the crazy stuff, and then I finished the game. I never played the DLC. I'm not sure if that would be important towards the story.
They might TLDR it at the start of Control 2.
Yeah,
a lot of games now, if like they just be like, look, if you missed it, here's a little catch up.
Yeah. I just remember I was sold on this game by it saying like, oh yeah, it's this building and it's like it's all crazy, and you got a little bit of that at the start, and then afterwards it was just the game to me. I wanted more the building messing with me, like I wanted it to be like I turn
Yeah.
a corner and now it's a dead end and I turn back and now there's a different door, and there wasn't too much of that, so I was a bit
Yeah.
Word of mouth
What
in
an
this game is.
opening! What an opening though to that game where you're
Yes.
going around the same bit over and over again.
I need
It's
to
like,
play
what
this at some
the
point,
fuck is
yeah.
happening on? It's really cool. It's a really cool game.
It is a good game. I would just say like as I said, I turned on the cheats just so I could get like through the story, and I enjoyed the story. I just wish there was a little bit more kookiness to it.
This has been on my backlog for so long. I don't really have a backlog. It's like the 3 or 4 games, but this is one of them. And I keep thinking like I'll play it at some point, but I just never get round to it.
Yeah.
So,
this
I
is
think you'll really enjoy Control.
I probably would. I've been told that by multiple people that I would really enjoy this game.
This
yeah.
is like a EU game. It's a nice, like short story-based game, and it's
Yeah.
a shooter kind of.
I believe it's been given out on Game Pass a couple times.
I
so you
have
might already own it.
I have this game. I'm pretty sure
Okay, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have it on PS4/5 because I got it from PlayStation Plus one day. I have it on I have it on Epic or something. I have it all over the place. I just haven't played it. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Control 2 confirmed for development. A lot of people are very happy with this. The other stories you had, got this one here. So, Battlefield 2042 is getting Season 3, its newest season. And there's quite a few substantial things coming with this. It's coming to Game Pass. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's coming to Game Pass Ultimate. It's coming to EA Play, which means
Yes.
Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, so it's okay. So yeah, coming to Game Pass Ultimate, which is pretty good. Give a lot of people a chance to hop in if they already got that service. But they're also completely backpedaling on all the classes and stuff that they set out.
Yeah, they were
Nice.
launched with heroes, and now they're adding in classes. Apparently, people have been saying it's like they fixed a lot of the game, and like this like Season 3, they're hoping like this will be its big revival.
It's too late. It's too late.
I agree, but it might be interesting to like see it if you own Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
I just think it's too late. I don't
Crazy to me it took them this long, considering the one piece of feedback that's almost universally said by literally every person who's ever played this game is classes were better than these weird heroes.
Yeah.
When you're playing Battlefield, that's not what you come to Battlefield for.
Well,
not a hero shooter.
Well, the reason they were doing hero shooters is because hero shooters are still hot shit right now. It's like
Not in a battle royale.
not a battle royale.
Well, it feels like it's big multi battles. You don't want to be seeing like 4 of the same person,
Well, the thing is that if you make a successful hero shooter, you can monetize the shit out of it. You can make skins. You can make this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but for that you have to have people playing.
Exactly, and that's the risk that they took. It's the calculated risk that they took, and damn, are they bad at math?
I just think it's there's a lot of like because this comes up in the hunt community a lot, where it's like how much developer isn't listening to us, and it's like because developer's job and the feedback is not for them to respond to and do literally everything the players say. And in most of the times, the way these games become really massive hits is doing the stuff that you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it's always like putting in heroes, and I'm sort of like, yeah, all right, I'll see, but just the what it's like it's like literally the top of everybody's list of feedback. Like when every single player that plays your game is like, yo, I don't know about this bit. Maybe they're onto something.
I think it's just like I say, the idea of having a hero shooter, the payoff is so huge if you can do it well. It's just all this feedback of put classes in. It's just them saying like, no, hold, right? We can make this work. We will get there. It's just going to be a bit rough as the building is on fire around them. You know the comic of the dog saying this is fine.
Yeah.
It's basically that. That's how it feels anyway.
My memories of Battlefield, because I played the one of the previous ones, but I remember Will streaming this.
Wow.
And yeah, there was the dog that fell off the building, and then there was also like he attached himself to the rocket and flew to the moon. I remember just like smiling from ear to ear watching him play that. But then all the stories afterwards, like, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit.
Twice.
Every-
It was funny to watch because it was buggy as fuck
Yeah.
and
Yes.
stupid.
all
not
three
because-
of those things you just listed that were funny from Will's streams, all three of them are bugs. So
It was very buggy.
I just think maybe for the series, but less so for this game in particular. It feels like the well is poisoned, right? It just feels like I don't know. This game was so much bad press when it came out, and you have to try and save it because it costs so much money to make these games. You have to try something. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's a really fucking good game in there somewhere. They'll take out these heroes, put classes in.
Well, it's one of
change up the maps is what I hear was another really
I've heard it before so many times with Battlefield games where they start really shit, and then the people that actually stick with it, they go, no, it was the best Battlefield they've ever made in the end. But it's just like I don't care because the point of entry when most people get in and when I get into these games, if I'm going to, is the start. And if I don't get in there, I'm never going to get in.
But I feel like this is a common thing with Battlefield. This is literally the Battlefield cycle where it's like you are almost a beta tester for buying early, and then the really good game is later on. It does get much better.
But I don't think the answer
Most people care.
I don't think the answer of this is how it is. I don't think that's a good excuse. I think it should.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that as an excuse, but literally, it's not an excuse. That just is how. these games go every time.
That's not how it. That's not how it should be. I shouldn't encourage that. I think for development, you shouldn't have people spend what is now £70 on a multiplayer only game, and it's just not good until a year after release.
Yeah.
At which point it's.
But as a
dusty on
person who
someone's
didn't
shelves.
buy it, I don't care. And if this actually turns out to be a really good game 3 years after release, then I feel like I want to check this out at some point just to see what it's like.
Because I want them to be rewarded for bad practices.
I'm not rewarding them. I'm not putting any money in.
I suppose, yeah.
And it's not rewarding for them to this isn't a reward, is it? This is almost 3 years of just us, of not just us, the entire internet dunking on them for making a terrible Battlefield. It's like for them this is like positive reinforcement, you know? Because it's like, look, you listened to the thing that we all told you, and so I'm gonna play your game because I love Battlefield. I just don't love this Battlefield.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of these game companies, they look forward as opposed to looking backwards. Whereas, again, this update being amazing is nothing but good, right? If it saves the game, it gets people playing and enjoying it, that's great. But I don't think they'll learn anything.
But I mean,
no, probably not.
I mean, they did. This was like the biggest dunking after Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So they might have hit them somewhere hard.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think if anything, the fact that it will be on these like Game Pass will just up the player count instantly. So
yeah, problem I have is when are you going to fit Battlefield in?
It's, so much stuff coming out. Yeah, when is this update?
Because I want to, but it's November something. Someone just said.
Yeah.
It's like 9 days away. So not
9 days away, says Swagger.
That's weird timing. Is it arrogant timing? Do they think they can compete with like Warzone 2?
Who knows?
I mean, they have to. They're not blind. They have to know.
Knowing Blizzard Activision, they probably had this season 3 in plan, and Blizzard Activision's like, oh, we're going to time Warzone for this instead.
But you know, if this is everything they've said, like we're just basically making Battlefield good, then it won't be competing with Call of Duty, which is kind of what the problem was with Battlefield 2042 on launch. Was everyone was doing hero shooters at the time.
I feel like take this with a grain of salt. I feel like to a lot of casual players, if you went to people and went, "Oh, there's a new season update for Battlefield. It's fixing a lot of it, and now you can do really good 100-player matches, a lot of people would just go, "Oh, cool, like Warzone."
Yeah, maybe.
Because a lot of this just blends together. Anyway, yeah, I'm just rambling now, but that's that one. There's a few other stories. We won't go into them deeply, but I'll chuck you some headlines. You've got Sony reportedly partnered with NCSoft to make a Horizon MMORPG.
I'm excited for this only because of the Horizon curse, where we'll probably get a really good MMO come out at the same time.
Guild Wars 3.
Yeah,
but that's
like that.
That's that one, and then last one is Scavengers, if you remember that.
Yeah, Scavengers was a PvE shooter, so it was a battle royale.
I forgot this game existed.
Yeah, so everyone else.
I remember playing it with our friend Rosaf, who he loved this game.
Yeah, but he loves all of these.
He loves all kind of weird shit.
Yeah, I enjoyed this game. It was fun, but it's dying before it's even left early access.
Never left early access. Rest in peace. So I think didn't one of you two streamed this?
Not me.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah,
Will did. Yeah.
And you were like, it was just another battle royale, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It had this cool thing where it was leveraging some kind of tech. I can't remember what it was called, but it was supposed to be able to be like super seamless, loads and loads and loads of people playing all at once. And I remember that working fine. There was quite a big map and a lot of people on it, but the game just wasn't. It all just
screamed generic to me. It all just seemed a bit plain. I don't know, like ice sci-fi.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But yeah, that's all the news for the week. So that's everything done. What's coming out, Steve?
Oh, you want the releases? Well, on the 14th we've got the Oregon Trail.
What?
This is I think Americans play this like.
This is old.
Haven't we already had this game?
This is a remaster coming through Steam.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Oregano. There we go.
Oh,
I just I've never played this. I'm like, since every American seems to have played this, I might give it a try. But
looks like Terraria. Wait, what?
Yes, it's basically Terraria. Okay, and then on the 15th, we have a game which is called Bravery and Greed. This one is like the indie one that I was like, oh, this one looks maybe interesting to me. It's like a 4-player co-op side-scroller game.
Oh, cool. Maple Story.
I thought it looked
Where did you pull that from? What the fuck?
This looks like
don't cool Maple Story.
This looks like Maple Story. Don't.
Kind of, yeah. I can see what you're saying, but I was like, this one looks like it could be interesting. It depends on like the price and if it's good.
Price is no price right now.
No price, yeah.
£70.
But there's a demo, and I'm like, maybe if it comes to like Game Pass or if it's like free on EGS.
Oh my god, this screenshot! It's fucking menacing.
Okay.
Vampire Survivors vibes.
Also on the 15th, it's not really a game release, but we have WoW's Evoker class is coming out. The Evoker, the new dragon class.
Finally be a dragon.
Move it along, Steve. Let's go. Come on.
On 16th, we have Warzone 2.
Hell yeah.
Woohoo! 6 p.m. I'm going to be there. It won't work.
No way it's going to work at 6 p.m.
Apparently, Monday, tomorrow, if you're watching live, the day it will already be out on the thing, you can do the preload. So you might want to get on that. I believe it's on Steam and Battle.net. They can all play with each other. So download it where you want to download it. If I will say for Warzone, though, apparently you need to attach a phone number to either your Steam account or your Battle.net account. And if you're playing on Steam, you need to have an Activision account. So there will be some setup. On the 17th, we have Crysis 2 and 3 Remastered coming out.
Oh.
Interesting.
I have never played a Crysis game, but since we play Hunt Showdown and it's the same devs, I'm like, oh, maybe this is.
I remember Crysis 2 being really pretty when it came out.
That's their thing, isn't it? Crysis was a fine FPS.
Yeah, I remember. It was specifically it was Crysis 2. I was running on my PC, and I just remember thinking, this looks way better than what I know this PC can run. They were doing some wizardry.
Yeah,
under the hood.
I mean, I played it on 360, and I was like, "Wow, that
Yeah.
okay." My 360 is not on the way out. It looks fine.
Crysis 3 I never played. I know you get a bow. That's all I know.
Had that ZZ Top advert, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
On the 17th, we also have Goat Simulator 3. I think this is like a pretty popular franchise.
Oh, is anyone like this?
This is the one where we had the trailer for, where it was like they faked Dead Island, right? Or something?
That's not fun anymore because that
they
game's
got me
actually
and
real
Josh.
now. That game is real now.
Yeah, you got that coming out. And then on the 18th, we have the Miles Morales Spider-Man game DLC for Steam is coming out.
Really good game. 40 quid.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Is this
40 quid,
DLC or is
ironically,
it a standalone?
It's standalone.
on the better side.
I think it was 50 on PS5. Which
There you go then.
yeah, this game is great though. If you're like me, where I played the Spider-Man, which was the base game, what it's called, and I finished it, and I just wanted more because I love that game so much, and this is just that. It's just more. You have Miles' like lightning powers and stuff, but yeah, really good game.
Also on the 18th, we have The Devil in Me, which is from the Dark Pictures Anthology series. I would be playing this, but unfortunately this week is very jam-packed. So this is like, if you played any of the other games, The Quarry, Until Dawn, it's going to be basically the same, just real actors put into video games, stories, QTEs, make choices.
One day I'm going to sit down for like a week and just play all of these back to back.
All of them have co-op. You could probably play with like Laura or someone else as well.
Yeah,
and just have fun.
But it's like this is the fourth one.
This is the fourth one in the Dark Pictures series. The Quarry and Until Dawn are kind of separate. They announced after the third one, they announced 5 more, and this is the first of the 5.
Jesus.
Yes.
Who makes these? Who's Bandai Namco?
Super giant. No, super massive.
Super giant.
I love how you always make that mistake. Is it Hades?
Why did
is
they
it,
make
is it
What was they like? Oh, that's a good studio name. We'll just take that.
Is it a Hades
God damn it.
sequel? Is it another horror game? No one knows.
And then the last game
Supermassive.
coming out, which the best for last, on the 18th, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, I can see your smile. I can hear your smile.
Can't wait. The games have been fully leaked, so be careful about looking on the internet. I have seen all the leaks. I am so hyped.
Oh, you spoiled that.
So I follow a lot of Pokemon people, so if I don't look up myself, I'm gonna get annoyed by watching.
Yeah.
There'll be something on one of my YouTube recommended or on Twitter or something, so I just look at them and I'm like, I still get like maximum enjoyment because I like theory crafting everything.
Yeah.
So yes,
I spoiled all the third evolutions of the starters.
What's the best one now, knowing where they end up?
Cat one.
The cat is the best now?
Yeah, cat is the best. And funnily enough,
best.
Fuecoco, the cutest starter of them all, has the worst final, in my opinion.
I assume you'll talk about just about looks.
Yes. I don't care about stats, Steve.
I was gonna say looks wise, cat and duck. Cat is best. I have a special place in my heart for duck, and
yeah.
I'm sorry, I think
it will appeal to
the worst. So.
It will appeal to some people. It will appeal to some, like
yeah.
But yeah.
Apparently, everyone in chat is screaming that you're missing Darktide as well.
Oh yes. Sorry, I forgot because it wasn't on my list. Darktide early access on the 17th. So going back a day. If you pre-purchase Darktide on Steam, you get access to the early access, which will be similar in length to the demo, apparently. They put out a few, or the test that they did.
It's not the full game. It's some kind of
game.
When is the full
early
game?
access, but
full game is on the 30th, and it is coming to Game Pass. Although I believe the big thing is that Steam and Game Pass can't play together, which really sucks.
Apparently they can't. Yeah,
that is insane. That is
but I'm
not buying
people
this.
were saying people were saying that the when they played it on the test, there were definitely some graphical issues, and it was like a lot of PCs had trouble running this.
Yeah.
So I know a bunch of hardcore Warhammer fans have put money down, but it's not something I can wholeheartedly recommend. I would say just wait, play it on Game Pass, see if it runs, and then maybe purchase it if you're not that bothered about like the pre-order bonuses or whatever.
I was already so mild on Vermintide 2. I cannot, in good faith, drop 33 quid on this, knowing that I probably won't play much of it.
Yeah. Well, I know will be playing it, right?
He's a Darktide creator or something.
Yes.
I've been accepted to the Darktide affiliate creator program.
The Emperor wants you.
So, plug, there'll probably be an affiliate link below the stream or something of Will's. I assume you can put that there.
Is that for Steam or for Game Pass?
Steam.
For Steam, and then and you can also watch him play it.
The problem this week is if I want to play Darktide early, I've got to download the Steam version. If I want to play Darktide with you fellows, I have to then go and also download the Game Pass version.
How is there no crossplay between? That's actually ruined my evening. I was excited to jump in with this and play it with a bunch of people, and now.
I mean, I'm still going to get on Game. Like, there'll be plenty of people playing on Game Pass, and we can just play.
Yeah. All it does is splinter what will already not be. I imagine it will have a lot of sales, but I don't know. Yeah. It just fractures everything, doesn't it? It's like when we first played.
But it is a lot of work, I imagine, to get those servers to speak to each other and handle things like cross progression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They said it is coming.
This on Steam
at launch.
Yeah.
So
it's like
true fans will download both versions. Just saying.
I played Dead by Daylight when Game Pass first launched on PC, and it was dead, and you couldn't find any matches within half an hour because the Game Pass version didn't talk to the Steam version. And what tends to happen is eventually there's crossplay now.
Yeah.
But you just end up everyone saying as soon as there's a majority on one of the versions, that becomes the version that you have to get. Because everyone just suddenly starts leaning towards that way. I don't know. It's a bit annoying. But it is what it is, I guess. So, any more games, Steve?
There's also no Twitch integration at launch. They've confirmed.
Yeah, there is Scarlet and Violet again, just to crown
we're
off,
done here. Thanks for watching, everybody. What?
It's a monument flipper game for you, Josh, coming out tomorrow.
A monument? What the hell's a monument flipper?
You know the flipper games?
Oh, where you build and clean shit.
Flipper?
Is there? Oh yeah, there were a bunch of there were a lot of games coming out, but I was like, can't.
Oh yeah, no, there's always a lot of games coming out, but I saw it and went, "That's a Josh game."
What's it called? Is it called Monument Flipper?
Monument Flipper, yeah.
That's not on my website.
I can't spell. Your website misses basically everything, though, Steve. Let's be honest.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, Jank hand holding a hammer at like some scaffolding. I'm in.
I have checked several. I was checking several websites, and none of them were like super great. This was the best one I saw for like releases.
Well, you somehow missed Game of the Year.
You only check Steam, so
right. Oh well, yeah. I don't check Steam. I check Steam to check the games, each individual game. I don't check the releases on Steam.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. So, thank you for listening, everybody. I hope you've had a fun time. It's been good, as always, having everyone here. We'll do our socials, and then we'll get out of here. My name is Josh, a.k.a. BottlerWorks. You can find me everywhere under the name BottlerWorks. What about you, Will?
Hello, I'm Olivemeister. You know where to find me.
And then Steve.
Hi, I'm Quikwix. That's QUIKWIX on all the platforms.
And Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam.
Oh, and you can also find me at BottlerWorks on Monument Flipper. I'll be playing that non-stop from when that comes out. Bye, everybody.
You just got your new job, but you're picking that to become a Monument Flipper streamer.
This is my new job. Bye.
Bye.